Hello and welcome to Wilderness Days. Today, in this very special episode, we will celebrate the life and times of one of the most remarkable tigers of all times. This one does not require any introduction. After all, it's the most photographed tiger ever, or so it is claimed.
मछली जल की रानी है, जीवन उसका पानी है. It has been 18 long days since the frantic search took off. Every valley, every patch of grass, every waterhole is scanned threadbare. All of her favorite spots, places where she used to appear regularly, have been searched and searched again. But there is still no sign of her. Now even the searchers are beginning to show fatigue. Their eyes no longer seem hopeful. Fear is setting in fast. Well, this is bound to happen when the world's most celebrated tigress decides to disappear into the blue. And she has left no sign for her trackers, only a few million haunting memories among her countless admirers. Ranthambore, they say, will not remain the same without Machli, undoubtedly the most loved and admired tiger of this tiger reserve in Rajasthan. It is also claimed, and not without reason, that this particular big cat is single-handedly responsible for spawning over half the population of Ranthambore tigers. Machli's disappearance in the January of 2014 has shaken the wildlife fraternity. The newspapers have started screaming hoarse about the unexplained disappearance of Ranthambore's treasure. Some have even sought answers from the government. Such is the magnetic pull of Machli of Ranthambore. But in the sea of gloom lies a glimmer of hope. Machli has defied death earlier also. At least on 3 occasions, the forest staff of Ranthambore began writing her obituary, but were pleasantly surprised by her resilience. Maybe once again she will conjure up another trick and have one more hearty chuckle at all the doomsday prophets. Maybe. Daulat Singh, the senior forest officer entrusted with the task of locating Machli, hasn't yet given up hope. Daulat is a legend in Ranthambore. A few years ago, he lost an eye in a tiger attack. Still, and even to this day, his first love is tigers. And then, one day, like an answered prayer, the news finally erupted. Machli has been found. She is alive and kicking. At 9 p.m., the search team located her in a ravine. When we caught up with Machli next morning, she was busy with her meal. The live bait was supplied to her the night before. Daulat Singh, the man who found her, was sitting in a gypsy some 100 meters from Machli, his face expressionless, but eyeing all her moves carefully.
Actually, department was confident that Machli is nearby that area, because once, due to the other tigers' pressure, it moved from Lakarda to Kachida area. And meanwhile, in the trekking, we found the indirect evidences, just pug marks and skates in the same area, and lot of alarm call also. So we are confident that Machli is nearby that area. And we have done from last 2-3 days, that is what we say, that joint operation and all these things,
Intensive
tracking.
combing.
Yeah, and combing, intensive combing, putting the camera trail. And within 2-3 days, you see that we find the result.
Please don't go away. There is so much more in this episode. We will come back after a short break.
It's doubtful if Machli is aware of the unique honor bestowed upon her. Ranthambore Tiger Reserve, with its massive fort overlooking vast forest stretches, has always been a delight with wildlife lovers. They arrive here from all over the world. It's said only the really unlucky return from Ranthambore without laying their eyes on a tiger. The big cats of Ranthambore always seem relaxed and do not really mind shutterbugs in close proximity. But still, there is one tiger here which stands head and shoulders above its peers. It's Machli. During the past 1 decade, most documentary filmmakers have referred to Machli as the Queen of Ranthambore, and for a reason. This slender striped cat enjoys a huge fan following all over the world. For many die-hard Ranthambore lovers, a trip to the park without encountering Machli would be an absolute waste of time. We tried to dig out reasons for Machli's popularity and found there were many. One of the most notable incidents involving her took place on January 27, 2003. It was the day Machli picked up a fight with a crocodile. It was an extremely rare event. For centuries, crocodiles and tigers have lived side by side in Ranthambore, but they never cross each other's paths. Or even if they did, it was never cited or documented. That year, Ranthambore was reeling under a particularly bad spell of drought, perhaps the reason for the frayed nerves which led to this unusual fight. Machli emerged victorious in the epic fight, which according to some eyewitnesses lasted several hours. She lost all her canine teeth in the battle, a huge price she had to pay. This had a twofold effect. It instantly brought her to the limelight and made her a sort of inspirational figure. Rajesh Gupta, Another senior forest official was the field director of Ranthambore when we caught up with him. Though acknowledging Machli's special status, he was careful not to ignore the importance of the other tigers of the reserve.
Tigers invariably become more important than the others.
Yeah, yeah.
Machli, for instance.
Yeah.
There must be some reason that why Machli is one of the most photographed tiger in the world. There must be something special.
Yeah,
in that.
you see, some tigers are very special in the sense that Machli has given 4 litters and given 9 cubs, so she has contributed to Ranthambore's tiger population to a great extent.
Right.
So she becomes a very special tiger.
The way Sita did in Bandhavgarh.
Yeah, so she becomes special, but for us, yes, she has been a special tigress, but we always expect that all the tigresses behave in the same special way as Machli. Personally, from the management and from the department, for us, the species is of very high significance in the conservation world today. So for us, any tiger is the same. It's just a matter of chance and that some tiger becomes more popularized. But to us, for T25 or T3 or T6 or T17 or T9, all tigers are the same, because for us these are the most prized possessions to the country, to the world. So every tiger has to be given, and we do give equal importance and significance.
Machli's popularity remains unparalleled. But she is now experiencing what every living being on earth has to go through to complete the circle of life. It's old age, the beginning of the inevitable phase of transition. Over the past 4 years, most of her fans presume that particular season to be Machli's last. Why? Machli is barely able to hunt. And even when she does make a kill, she tends to lose it to a healthy tiger. Meals she may lose at regular intervals, but she has successfully managed to hold on to dear life. And that is no small achievement for a tiger, which should have moved over to the happy hunting grounds a long time ago. Environmentalist Belinda Wright has been watching Machli for a long time now. But she chooses to take a holistic view of the famous tiger.
I think, probably her tenacity, she held on to this prime real estate, you could call it, where the best, tiger habitat in Ranthambore with the highest density of prey species. And she held on to it through thick and thin. She compromised with male tigers, not with other females, until finally she was usurped by one of her own daughters. But you know, that is really, really remarkable in an area where there are a high density of tigers. She's very special. She's such a star, amazing tigress. She's had so many litters. She's given so much joy to people and you know, helped make Ranthambore even more famous and things. And I think it's time to let her go. I don't approve of sort of assisting keeping wild tigers alive. It's time to let nature take its course.
Not everybody is as rational as Belinda. Most of Machli's fans would of course like her to live on forever. Mohan Singh, the untiring forest guard of Ranthambore, has been keeping a close watch on Machli for the last several weeks. If one should believe Mohan Singh, it's time now for Machli to go.
बहुत पहले इसने एक क्रोकोडाइल को पकड़ा था, मारा था, तो उसमें इसकी कैनान टूट गई चारों कैनान टूट जाने से शिकार करने में परेशानी रही और छोटे मोटे किल करके भी इसने लास्ट में भी 3 बच्चियां 16, 17, 18, 19 को जन्म देकर एक इतिहास रचा है। तो ये बहुत कम बात नहीं है कि इतनी उम्र में बच्चे दिए लास्ट। और अब इसका लंबी उम्र होने से बहुत ज़्यादा, क्यों 15 साल जीता है वाइल्ड लाइफ में जानवर, इसने 18 साल पूरे कर लिए, समझ लो 18 साल में चल रही है। तो इतना जीना चाहे वाइल्ड लाइफ में बहुत मुश्किल काम है, फिर भी ये चल रही है। और इसका शिकार भी कम होता है, पानी में बैठती है तो 1-1 घंटा लग जाता है, उड़ती नहीं है, पानी में बैठी रहती है, दिल करता है तो उड़ती है, नहीं तो बैठी रहती है। तो रोज़ इसकी ट्रैकिंग करनी पड़ती है, 1 दिन में 2 दिन में, 1 दिन में 2 दिन में ढूंढना पड़ता है, मिल जाती है। ज़्यादा एरिया बड़ा नहीं है इसका, बहुत छोटा कर दिया है, 4 किलोमीटर 5 किलोमीटर का एरिया कर दिया है, स्क्वायर किलोमीटर में रहती है। इसके बावजूद छोटा मोटा जो पर्क्यूपाइन है, 6 चीतल के बच्चे हैं, ये मार के अपना पेट भर रही है। अब इतनी उम्र हो जाने से कमज़ोरी भी महसूस कर रही है, कमज़ोरी के कारण शिकार भी नहीं होता, बॉडी भी अनबैलेंस हो गई है पूरी, पूँछ से लेकर पाँव भी पटकती है तो ज़रा संभाल के पटकती है। इसको पता है कि अब मेरे बस की नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी ये चल रही है। अब इसकी ट्रैकिंग रोज़ाना इसलिए करना पड़ रहा है कि कभी भी जा सकती है। बहुत बूढ़ी टाइग्रेस है, बहुत रणथंभौर में इसने बहुत अच्छी साइटिंग दी है, शायद किसी भी टाइगर ने इतना साइटिंग नहीं दी होगी टूरिस्टों को जितना इसने दिया है।
The jury is still out on how long Machli will hang on to the thread of life. The thread has become very weak with every passing day. And when it snaps, as it's bound to sooner or later, you can bet the silence in Ranthambore will be quite deafening.
Yes. In all her glory. ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि।
So this was Machli, the superstar tiger who defied death yet again.